Now, you got to find a spot. You got to find a spot, a good spot. I'm located in Bloomfield, New Jersey, 50 Dodge Street, Bloomfield, New Jersey, right behind the Home Depot. And before this pandemic hit, I mean, this shit was pumping, man. It's a lot of cars that come through here. You got two churches. You got at least 3 to 4 beauty salons, and then you got my cousin's barbershop a few doors down, and a tattoo spot that just opened up. So you got all these businesses on the strip, and this pandemic hit, and it fucked my whole shit up. So right now, the main spot that's getting all the work right now is like the mini supermarket down the street, because they've been here. They've been known these people, So, my small little spot, it ain't doing what I wanted to do because of this damn pandemic. But, the first step is you find a spot. Find a good spot. It could be within a neighborhood. It could be right there on a main strip on a street. I'm blessed that we're on a strip, but there's also residents that surround us as well. So if you're lucky enough, you get hit one of those two. With my case, if you're trying to open up a convenience store and things like that, or a local pharmacy, something like that, you're better off going within a neighborhood. You could go on a strip that has a neighborhood right next to it, or you're just better off just going straight neighborhood, just have residents surrounding your business. Because that way you just have people who already live in the area just going to come straight to you anyway. Me being from Montclair, New Jersey, Mr. Jefferson, he got the little laundromat / convenience store right there. That's what really gave me the inspiration to open my own. He was right there in the neighborhood, right there on the street on Maple Ave. And then he had his cafe right next to that. So that was really the inspiration for it all. So location is really the key. You find that and find it for a good price. I ain't going to put my business out there how much I'm paying for my rent. It's not crazy. It's not out of this world. It's a nice little price. Nice price that I can make that much within 1 week and be straight. You know what I'm saying? Shit, even this stimulus check would take care of it right off the rip. So you just got to make sure you find a nice rent. Make sure you find the right insurance. That's another step. Find the right insurance company for the right price. If you're a brand new business, they might charge you 2 stacks off the rip just for the insurance for the business. They might run you 2 stacks. Got insurance. Shit. And before you even sign a lease, before you do any signing of any leases, make sure where you're going to have your store is already fixed up. Make sure everything is fixed before you sign a lease and give anybody any money. Make sure every single thing is fixed up. I took an L because I rushed. I just wanted to get a spot. Plus, it was right next to where my cousin was set up at. I seen how many businesses was already on the block. I seen there was residents around as well. I was like, this shit is perfect. But at the same time, everything wasn't fixed up. I rushed, signed a lease, gave them the money, the whole 9. And I had to wait a month and a half after I was supposed to open to even open the store. I was supposed to open on March 1st, 2020. And the guys he had didn't even finish the job up, so I had to wait. They were supposed to do the floor. They didn't do the floor, so I had to actually pay somebody to come in here and do the floor, and I wasn't supposed to do that. That put me a few $100s in the hole for that one. Not in the hole like I owed money, but like I wasn't even supposed to pay that. I paid that to get done. So yeah, man, just make sure the whole thing is fixed up before you do anything. And that also leads to just keeping your options open as far as a location. Make sure you hit up at least 3, maybe even 4 or 5 different locations and do tours and see what your options are before you just jump on and go to one spot. I made that mistake. I jumped into it, got the one spot, didn't hit up the other 2 spots I had in mind that were also in Bloomfield and also in a very good location in Bloomfield. You know, something like where I'm at now, where you got a main strip and then you have residents surrounding as well. I just jumped right into it, didn't even think about it. I regret not going to those other spots because I'm pretty sure they would have been around the same price range for the rent, and it would have been even busier over there because I think some of their businesses on that strip is still open. So it's fucking rough, you know. Make sure you keep the options open for sure. Another big thing is just me. I self-financed the majority of this, you know. When you're opening up a small convenience store, because my shit is only 800 square feet. You know, I already told you it's 2 racks for the insurance. A security deposit, if you're lucky, is 1,800 to 2 stacks. So you're already down 4,000. I saved up about 12,500 over a span of 1 year. Being a cashier at a pharmacy, I was able to stack up 12,500. And that was in January 2020. And I thought that would have been enough. You know, I didn't quit my job. I'm still working my job. I still work 40 plus hours at my job and still come here to make sure shit is going straight. It wasn't enough, you know what I'm saying? I thought it would be enough, you know, that 12,500 just to get shit cracking. But, you know, my advice is if you're trying to open up a small little storefront, rack up 20 G's. Rack up 20 to 25 G's, man. I'm only 22 years old, so by the time I would have touched, I would have touched the 20 G's by next year. I would have touched the 20 G's by next year, but I did not feel like waiting another year, sitting on my ass, not owning a business. And what's crazy is, you know, only being 22 years old, you start reflecting when things, you know, start to not look too well. You start reflecting like, damn, maybe I should have just waited. It would have been smarter to just wait, you know. Jumped head first into this shit and I didn't even think at all. I didn't think at all. You know, so definitely patience is 1,000% important, and don't rush, man. Don't even rush. And like I said, if you're trying to open up a small little storefront, 20 to 25 G's minimum if you're trying to self-finance. If you're trying to self-finance, 20 to 25 G's minimum, especially if you're doing it by yourself. Like, I got my homies in my circle. I wish I would have been able to do business with them. Shit, this whole situation would have been a whole lot easier if I had other people involved with it. But niggas ain't want to do none of it, you know what I'm saying? And that's the sad part. You know, because, you know, this ain't it's not what's popping at the moment. What's popping at the moment is like sneaker stores and clothing boutiques and shit like that. And, you know, you don't want to get something that's popping in the moment. You want to get something that's going to last forever, you know. And a convenience store can last you forever. It can last you generations, you know what I'm saying? You know, being a young black male in the convenience store game, that's something different. You know, Mr. Jefferson was the only black man I ever seen that owns a convenience store. Everybody else is Hispanic or Middle Eastern. And if you in Montclair, you know the Middle Eastern dude that used to own, well, he still owns the convenience store that's on the Ave by the Wellmont. I remember when he was down the Ave, he was all the way down the Ave, right next to Pat's Barbershop. He was down the Ave, you know, right across the street from the Taqueria, a few doors down from the New Ginland Chinese spot that's in Montclair. I remember when he was all the way down there. Then he moved up the street. You know, so he's been there for years. He's been there my whole life, probably even before that. You know what I'm saying? That's years. Mr. Jefferson, same thing. He been there my whole life plus some. Been owning that for years, man. So, and the Mission Mini Mart as well. That's over there on Mission Street in Montclair. That's been there for years now. So I saw everything over there. I seen stuff when I was in Bloomfield. Small stores, man, just getting money in nice little areas. So this was definitely the go. You got to get something that lasts a lifetime. But this pandemic is the only thing that's fucking it up for me. So, you know, if you're able to self-finance, 20 to 25 G's minimum. If you're self-financing, if you got homies with you, hopefully y'all can split that up. And you won't have to put in as much as everything. I put in everything. If I had homies, I wouldn't have to drop everything. But niggas want to do other things. And some niggas want to do things, but they don't want to put in the work. They want to, you know, do what they can, but they want to have their free time to go do other shit while you do all the work. You know, and I'm not going for that. So it's really a shame. It's really a shame. So, like I said, if you're trying to self-finance, 20 to 25 G's minimum. Minimum. If you're self-financing your own front store. And if you're blessed to have friends that work hard and they save their money up too, and they really want to do the same thing, it's a blessing and you should do that. And if those two can't happen, there's grants and loans. Now, I strongly advise not to get loans so you don't owe money. You know, if you get a loan and your shit don't get popping, I mean, you could end up owing whatever landlord that you're under, and you can end up owing the fucking government. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta basically work on your shit, man, and just get it together. You know what I'm saying? It's rough, but that's what it is. Don't get involved in trying to owe people money. Like, that's my strongest thing. I don't want to owe people any money, so I ain't fuck with no loans. And a grant is something you could get. You won't owe no money back. It's just they gave that to you. You know what I'm saying? A grant, if you blessed enough to get a grant, get a grant. I'm looking into that shit now to make sure my shit stay afloat. Grant is just too important right now. But other than that, man, it's some real shit going on with this whole pandemic. But that's all the financial side of everything. You know, like I said, like, between insurance and the security deposit, it's like $4,000 right there alone, right out the pocket already. And then you got to drop another, you know, around $1,500 to $2,000 on inventory by itself. So that's 6 G's. About, 5,500. 5,500. You're definitely gonna drop $3,000. $3,000 to $3,500 on equipment. And that's at the minimum. So I'm already at about 9 G's. Right then and there. That's 9 G's already. You 9 G's down. Just trying to set everything up. You know, I got a fridge. Shit cost over $1,500. Got the other fridge cost like $700. The amount of shelves I bought in this motherfucker probably equates to $300. Then you got, you got to get a register. You got to get, and then the other equipment, registers, money. You got to get the shit that detects the fake money and the LED light shit. Like it costs a lot of bread, man. You might even drop $1,000 just to get all that. So then you already down to like maybe 2 G's. And then you got rent that comes up. By the time you get all this shit up, then you got rent that comes up just in case you're not open or you don't got money coming in. You got to pay that rent. Now you're down to less than $1,000. Down to less than $1,000. And guess what? I didn't even mention you got to get cable set up. Either got to get an internet deal set up or you get internet and cable. You got to get that shit set up. So that might cost you like $200. You got to get security set up. Now, you already bought cameras. The cameras go along with, like, registers and the money detectors and everything like that. But other than that, you need ADT. So when if a nigga break into this shit, you get the alert straight to your phone. ADT might cost a nice little $150 just to get set up. So now you might be down to $500 to your fucking name. $500 to your name. Shit gets real when you trying to do this shit. It gets very real, man. Nothing is easy about this shit. It is hard. And that's why I see the reasons why a lot of people stay away from getting a storefront business and they just try to hustle online, man. They get your 9 to 5 and people just do side hustles online. And I don't blame them. Because this shit is crazy. It's crazy. But definitely don't give up hope. Don't give up hope. Because if I get a grant or 2 or maybe 3, I could stay afloat with no problem. Even through all the bullshit, I could be all right. That's the positive output on this. And if those things fall through for me and it goes, I'm going to develop my clientele. And I'm just a very real person. I see through a lot of the bullshit and a lot of things, man. And, even though there was a lot of love shown, a lot of love, a lot of love. You know, I saw somebody that I would have considered a brother. I seen this guy driving around about 3-4 times already. He never stopped by the store. Watches my IG stories, everything. He don't never stop by this store, man. Ain't spent $1 in here. Not a dime. Got another homeboy. He probably doing whatever. I know he worked too. But I know he run around fucking with a bunch of girls. It's whatever, man. Got another homeboy. I told him, I was like, yo, I'll do the curbside for you. Nigga said he's good. He done bought everything that he needs. So that's another thing you gonna have to just go through. You gotta see who really fuck with you and who don't. And you'll be surprised who will really come through and fuck with you. And I've really been surprised. And that's why I take a lot of things with a grain of salt. And you gotta just, it's whatever at this point. If you're gonna come through and show the love, you know, I'm here. I'm here. But I'm not going off of words, man. Not going off of words no more, man. Either you gonna come through and fuck with it, or you just not. I think too many people be on this fake bullshit. Super fake bullshit, man, and it's sad. It's really sad, but you know, just gotta push through that shit, man. Just gotta push through it. It's an everyday hustle. It's an everyday hustle. Which is why, like I said, you know, there's a few things about to try to tap into, and you know, can't have one thing popping, or can't even just have two things popping. You gotta see what you do. Continue to, you know, dip your foot into and try to see, you know, what's going on. So I'm definitely not gonna stop at, you know, having a 9-to-5 and having a convenience store. I'm gonna see what else is going on out here. But yeah, man, that's what it is, man. Everyday hustle.